The billionaires and celebrities of the world are known to have rather interesting daily schedules, while some people, like the CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, believe in rising and grinding, which translates to getting up at 3:30 in the morning and working a 12-hour day, while others have a more mellow approach to scheduling their life. One of those people, surprisingly, is Jeff Bezos. Since he's known for being a bit of a harsh, no-nonsense individual, I was a bit surprised to look at his daily schedule. I was even more surprised when I realized how similar it was to my own. That being said, today we're going to take a look at the daily routine of the richest man on earth, Jeff Bezos, and see if it's one worth following. As I've said, many billionaires pride themselves on rising well before the sun. Virgin Airlines founder Richard Branson gets up at 5 a.m. every day. Howard Schultz awakens at 4:30 and surely grabs himself some Starbucks. Even Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson gets up at an ungodly hour. He hits the gym every morning at 4 a.m. However, I don't really believe in starting mornings that early, and neither does Jeff Bezos. Every day, Jeff Bezos wakes up around the time the sun rises, normally sometime between 6 and 7. He doesn't awaken to the sound of a fancy alarm clock, or his iPhone, or even Alexa. He wakes up naturally every single morning. And while that may sound a bit dangerous, studies actually show that it's more healthy to wake up without an alarm clock. When you wake up with an alarm and snooze, it fragments any of that extra sleep you're getting. This doesn't allow your sleep cycle to complete, which can disturb your circadian rhythm and your hormones. This can lead to you being sleepy, grumpy, and having low energy. And that's precisely the reason why Jeff allows his body to wake him up naturally. After Jeff wakes up, he doesn't just grab a Pop-Tart and zip out the door. Rather than being driven by work first thing, he prefers to, well, as he puts it, putter around in the mornings. After getting up between 6 or 7, he starts his day off by reading the newspaper, scrolling on his phone, and relaxing with his children. He goes about his mornings without a lot of rushing, which certainly goes against the rise and grind mentality many people think you must possess to be in his position. And again, Jeff might be right about this approach to mornings. Studies show that starting work and obligations any earlier than 7 can reduce feelings of well-being and can actually drastically decrease productivity. By taking some time in the morning, you promote feelings of happiness, relaxation, and gratitude, which are helpful emotions to carry you throughout your workday. Jeff then eats breakfast with his kids around 8 a.m. He's cited this as the most important part of his day. He's known to have a healthy breakfast, avoiding traditional American breakfasts, which are full of carbs and fat. However, he wasn't always this way. Back when he started Amazon, he started every single morning by eating an entire can of Pillsbury Crescent biscuits, which he would then add more butter on top of. Not exactly the most energy-promoting meal, but my, that does sound delicious. He stopped eating like that when his wife, at the time Mackenzie Bezos, told him to look at the nutrition label. He's been reported saying he had never read a nutrition label in his life before that point, and considering he was about 28 years old at the time, that's quite a big statement to make. Although it's hard to deny some big changes have happened in terms of his appearance and habits since he was that age. Surely we all remember Swole Jeff and the barrage of memes that came along with it. Ripped Jeff aside, Jeff hasn't talked about what he eats for breakfast, but chances are it's a bit, well, shall I say, unique. In a meeting in 2017 with Woot founder Matt Rutledge, Jeff ordered octopus with potatoes, bacon, green garlic yogurt, and poached eggs for breakfast. He stated he likes to try new things and often likes to switch up the meals he has. After eating his breakfast and taking his 4 children to school, Jeff heads off to work. That means he has about 3 hours of relaxing downtime with the family every morning before he even as much as opens his email or answers a call. In fact, Jeff never even sets a meeting before 10 a.m. Generally, he likes to set his more challenging meetings between 10 and noon, when he believes he's the most sharp. He never sets important meetings after lunch because he prefers to have his decision-making at its best. In his own words, as a senior executive, he's paid to make a small number of high-quality decisions. He sticks by ensuring he's at the best during meetings, so much so that any problems that arise in the afternoon are often put off until 10 a.m. the following morning. And these meetings have some rather strict guidelines. Jeff employs a 2-pizza rule, meaning that the meeting should be small enough so 2 pizzas could feed the entire group. This rule is also backed up by studies that say meetings under this size are more efficient and productive. In general, Jeff isn't really a fan of meetings. And truly, who is? He meets with Amazon investors for only 6 hours every year, which is drastically less than the average CEO. That being said, it seems to work all right for him. Many CEOs boast about their 12, 13, or even 14-hour workday. Elon Musk reportedly works 120-hour weeks and often sleeps under his desk. Good old Zuckerberg reportedly works 70 hours per week. But Jeff sticks to a casual 7.5-hour workday. By 5 p.m., he's generally ready to be finished for the day. By then, he says his decision-making has diminished, and that's something that happens to all of us, whether we can admit it or not. While a lot of people really believe that working longer is more productive, in reality, that's far from the truth. It's been proven that the average American office worker is only actually productive for 3 hours a day. With that in mind, it makes sense that Jeff would start work at 10 and head home by 5. He's very vocal about his belief in work-life harmony rather than balance, because balance implies a trade-off between the two, when in reality, they must exist as one. Jeff's not very open about what he does to relax after work, but he is known for having dinner with his family and doing the dishes every night. During his time off from work, we can make a few assumptions about what Jeff likes to do. He's a known Star Trek fan, or Trekkie, so I can imagine he watches some Star Trek in the massive home theater in his mansion. In addition, he has one hobby that really speaks to his wealth: scavenging for sunken NASA rockets on the ocean floor. He's known to take his children with him as he joins in on missions to find fallen engines and other parts from rockets of NASA's past. In 2013, he and his team and a submarine even managed to find the engine of Apollo 11, the rocket that put astronauts on the moon. It can also be assumed that Jeff spends a fair amount of time hitting the gym. He has private gyms in almost every property he owns, and let's face it, those guns don't lie. After he's finished with his family time and entertainment, Jeff normally hits the sack fairly early. Though he has no set bedtime, Jeff is very vocal about how he ensures he gets 8 hours of sleep every single night. This puts him in bed at or around 10 or 11. It's fairly well known that 8 hours of sleep per night is vital to our mental and physical health, though many entrepreneurs place the importance of work over sleep. Jeff believes the 8 hours keep him from being grouchy, taking his anger out on employees, and from making poor decisions. When you have a business as big as Jeff's, one wrong decision can be extremely detrimental to hundreds, even thousands of employees. So it makes sense he's hung up on making the right ones. Well, there you have it, the daily schedule of Jeff Bezos. What do you think of his daily schedule? How early do you wake up in the morning? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Oh, and turn on post notifications. As always, I'm Mr. Luxury. Pip pip, the doodly-doo.